You know, it's interesting that in your songs, you're still the outsider. With all the success.
Yeah, my mom talks to me a lot about that, because I think you kind of get set in how you feel when you're in school. Like, I could be sitting in the front row at an award show and I still don't feel like a cool kid. Like,
To this day. And
like
you are the cool kid now.
And what went through your mind when he came up and then they cut off the...
Well, I was standing on stage and I was really excited because I had just won the award, and then I was really excited because Kanye West was on the stage, and then I wasn't so excited anymore after that.
And Taylor, are there any hard feelings towards him?
I don't know him, and I've never met him, so.
So were you a fan before?
Yeah. It's Kanye West.
Are you still a fan? I take it now.
You know, I don't know him, and I don't want to start anything because I had a great night tonight. So.
Did anyone give you support backstage?
Yeah, I've been getting so many text messages. It's like, and everybody's been really nice. So I've had a really, really fun night. It's been interesting, definitely. It's definitely been an interesting night.
How hard was it to coordinate the performance with the subway and all of the
The performance
dancers?
was one of my favorite parts of the night, and especially the fact that it was so fan-oriented, and the fact that the fans were everywhere. It was just wonderful, and I love New York, so I was so excited to be here.
Are you going to reach out to Kanye?
Huh?
Are you going to reach out to Kanye? Thank you guys so much.
Just gonna try to have a good night. Thank you so much.
Congratulations. Supposed to ring,
but I don't want to. I don't want to.
Okay, all right.
This makes me feel so bad about myself. Every time I come up here, you put like a different dude up there on the screen. There's never been two guys on the screen 2 visits in a row. It's sad.
Is your life at all normal?
No.
No.
Not at all.
What's the most abnormal?
The most abnormal thing about my life is having sort of crowds form everywhere you go. And just everywhere. So that starts happening, and then you have to take security everywhere you go. All of a sudden, you realize that you have not been alone, truly, for 5 years.
I try not to ever really say where I am the most, because since all my addresses are on the internet, people tend to show up uninvited. Like, you know, dudes that think we have an imaginary marriage.
You mentioned that you keep wound dressing with you?
Yeah, I've had a lot of stalkers show up to the house armed. So we have to think that way.
Do you ever suffer from anxiety dreams? Do you ever have those dreams before a big show where you're fighting clowns or you're wrestling with a lion?
Oh my God, yes,
or,
anxiety dreams. And also like my reality, even when I'm not dreaming, is like peppered with lots of anxiety. Just like ridiculous anxiety. I have a lot of issues with buildings like this because I always feel like someone has bugged the room and is either videoing me or recording me. No, I know, but like dressing rooms and stuff. So that's one of my paranoias. Anxiety dreams, I always have nightmares that I'm being framed for murder.
Do you?
Yes. And then I'm being framed so well that I can't remember if I did it or not in the dream.
Wow.
And so that really winds me up. And then I'm just like freaked out for the next couple of days. I mean, if you want to talk about all my like issues with anxiety, we could be here for days.
I'd rather not.
Okay.
That's okay, because this
asked the question.
Is free, and
you
I'm
didn't
not
ask
getting
a fun
paid for this.
question.
Would you like to lay down on the couch?
You didn't ask my favorite kind of candy. You asked how many different kinds of anxiety dreams do I have.
But you do have them.
Yeah,
so
I have
you're in
them.
a dressing room, you're talking with a friend privately about the fact that you're not sure if you've murdered someone or not, and then you look up at the little fire alarm thing and you go, could there be a camera
There's
in
a
there?
red light there, yeah. And there's also the dream that, like, anytime I'm paparazzi'd out, like, which is a lot, I have dreams that night that they're in my room taking pictures of me while I'm sleeping. So, like,
Ooh.
I'll find myself smiling in my sleep, like, trying to, like, because I think there are people in my room taking pictures of me.
People go, you okay?
Not smiling because I'm happy, smiling because, like, because I think people are taking pictures of me.
And does your boyfriend like the way it smells?
I don't have one. I keep telling you that. I don't have like even kind of a boyfriend.
Not even kind?
I don't have someone that I'm texting that's a guy that might someday be my boyfriend. There's like nothing going on right now.
That's pathetic.
Yeah.
Just like, you're busy.
Yeah, well,
You're
yeah,
very, very
of
busy.
course.
What is the craziest thing that a boy has ever done to get your attention?
Nobody does anything crazy to get my attention. I don't know. As far as guys,
They
I
don't
can't
work hard
remember.
enough, do they?
Like,
They really don't.
I don't know. I can't remember, so I guess, you know, I guess there hasn't been anything.
Kind of made
Which
too
is
much.
good, so it's like easier. The bar's set really low for anyone who I date in the future to come in and be like a great guy. I'll be like, how, you exist? This is crazy.
I've been thinking about addiction, and I've been thinking about people who, if they're either suffering through mental illness or they're suffering through addiction or they have an everyday struggle. No one pats them on the back every day, but every day they are actively fighting something. But there are so many days that nobody gives them credit for that.
Yeah.
And so how often must somebody who's in that sort of internal struggle must want to say to everyone in the room, you have no idea how close I am to going back to a dark place, or you have no idea.
Or you have no idea how hard it is to get to the point where you guys think is still shitty.
Yes, and then the second verse is about, you know, someone who felt like they had a lot of potential in their life. I think there are a lot of mechanisms for us in our school days, in high school or college, to excel and to be patted on the back for something. And then I think a lot of people get out of school, and there are less abilities for them to get gold stars.
Yeah.
And then you have to make all these decisions, and you have to pave your own way, and there's no set class course you can take, and and I think a lot of people feel really swept up in that. And so I was thinking about this person who is really lost in life and then starts drinking, and every second is trying not to.
Yeah.
One song on the album called Soon You'll Get Better that I can't even really hear, I can't even listen to.
She won't talk specifically about her inspiration, but it comes at a time when her mother, Andrea, who was battling cancer, suffered a relapse.
It's really interesting because I don't think I have written a song quite like that before, and it's just sort of like, it's just a tough one.
I can imagine, but I can also tell you, having listened to it, that it's universal.
It's just not something that we deal with until we have to, until we see it, until we experience it, until someone close to us is going through something like that. And so writing about it was really emotional, and I'm just gonna stop talking about it now.
Understandable.
Taylor Swift opens up to Elle magazine, admitting that she's never fallen in love before. In the new issue of Elle magazine, Taylor is admitting that she has never ever fallen in love before. She said, "It's magical if you ask anyone who's ever fallen in love. It's the greatest." Now, I have more of a grasp on the fact that when you're in a state of infatuation and you think everything that a person does is perfect, it then, if you're lucky, morphs into a real relationship when you see that that person is not in fact perfect, but you still want to see them every day. I've never had that. She also says in the mag that she believes that the idea of happily ever after doesn't exist in real life, and that she doesn't see herself, quote, riding off into the sunset because the cameras keep rolling in real life.
There are times when I feel like with everything that's in my control, I can make myself seem like someone who doesn't have an abnormal life. And I try that every day. Every day it's like, how do I make myself among my friends and family and my loved ones not see this big elephant that's in the room for our normal life, because I don't want the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
You know, if you're going to be in my life, I feel like there's a certain amount that comes with it that I can't stop from happening.
Yeah.
I can't stop from you getting a call in the morning that says, you know, the tabloids are writing this today. I can't help it if there's a guy with a long lens camera 2 miles away with a telescope lens taking pictures of you. I can't stop those things from happening. And so this song was basically like, is it enough? Is the stuff that I can control enough to sort of block out the things that I can't?
Yeah.
So it makes me really emotional to hear this song.
Can you do anything you use the word normal, so I'll use it. Can you do anything like a normal person? Can you go out for a coffee? Can you go shopping? Or is everything an event with tons of paparazzi following you?
Anything outside my house or my apartment doesn't ever really feel normal. I try so hard to make it normal because I don't engage, like if I'm being followed by a camera crew and all these paparazzi, they know that I don't want to have the conversation. And in New York, they're very respectful of that. Like, they just take their pictures and they say thank you and they leave. I don't want to make it into a press conference. My friends wouldn't want that either. But in my apartment, in my house, we can bake, we can make dinner, we can dance, we can do whatever we want. It's just that it's just a fact that when I'm outside the doors of my apartment, people are watching me, and that's the life that I chose.
And you're okay with it?
I have days where I am, days where I'm not. You know, like, I don't think anyone has a solid stance on any way that they feel. Like, it's like saying, are you happy every day? You know, I mean, sometimes it feels absolutely stifling and overwhelming, to be honest with you.
This week was the American election, and we have 2 Americans here.
Yeah.
And you've been very secretive about how you vote, what you're voting for.
Well, I mean, I just figure I'm a 22-year-old singer, and, you know, I don't know if people really want to hear my political views. I think they just kind of want to hear me sing songs about breakups and feelings.
Can you just kind of sum up this whole year?
Yeah, no, I have no idea how this happens. This is like, I mean, and I know that this is probably never going to happen to me again like this. Like, this kind of a year is so rare and so unique. Every album I put out has had its own different kind of feeling for the way that the year has gone. And this is such a unique feeling with Red. Like, the fact that the fans got me to win Artist of the Year for the 3rd time is kind of, to me, hard to even wrap my mind around. Like, I just sometimes I'm so happy I'm scared, if that makes any sense. Like,
well, with what you just said, it does make sense, because you don't think you're ever going to be able to achieve something like this again. And why?
Because I do that every time I win an award. Like, I just feel like this has got to be it. People are going to get sick of me, clearly. I'm always sick of me.